For those of you who are unaware, there is a spacecraft out there called Voyager 1 that has been traveling away from Earth since 1977. It was launched on September 5, 1977, during the Carter administration with the goal of exploring Jupiter and Saturn. Well, it did that and much more. In fact, it's the farthest human-made object from Earth, period. As of today, it's about 166 AU from our planet, which works out to about 15 billion miles, or 24 billion kilometers. And if you're doing the math, yeah, that means it's farther than Pluto, which is around 40 AU from the Sun. But despite being so far away, Voyager 1 is still sending back data on the interstellar medium, and scientists are actually excited because it recently passed an important milestone. You see, even though it's the farthest human-made object from Earth, it's still nowhere near the distance light travels in a single day. And this is why. Welcome to my channel. This is the farthest spacecraft ever sent by humans. Now, we've all heard about the vastness of space before. There are planets and stars and galaxies, all of them so far apart from one another that it seems impossible for anything to travel between them. Light, which is the fastest thing in the universe, takes 8 minutes to travel from the Sun to Earth, which is the closest star to us. So that gives you some perspective on how far away things can be when you hear astronomers talking about distances in terms of light years. 1 light year is the distance light travels in 1 year and is equal to approximately 5.9 trillion miles or 9.46 trillion kilometers. At that speed, light can circumnavigate the Earth nearly 7 times in 1 second. So you can imagine that traversing even a fraction of a light year would take an extremely long time. That's why it's taken Voyager 1 almost 50 years to reach its current position. So what is Voyager 1? Well, Voyager 1 was built by NASA as part of their Grand Tour, a series of space missions designed to explore the outer solar system and make use of gravity assists to visit multiple planets with a single spacecraft. Voyager 1 was originally named Voyager, but after the success of this mission, they decided to rename it Voyager 2 and send it on a similar path except with a few minor differences. The two spacecraft were very similar. They both weighed about 573 kilograms and had a height of 2.5 meters. And each of them carried 3 cameras and various scientific instruments such as magnetometers, plasma detectors, and cosmic ray telescopes. The Voyagers were designed to last only 5 years, which was enough time to visit Jupiter and Saturn. However, both spacecraft far exceeded their planned lifespan and are still operational today. Voyager 1 was first launched on September 5, 1977, and then Voyager 2 followed on August 20, 1979. Both spacecraft used gravitational assists to gain speed and trajectory around Jupiter and Saturn, and then afterwards they were set free to continue on their journey into deep space. And it's worth noting that they're still sending back data to this day. Voyager 1 transmits about 16 bits of data per second, while Voyager 2 sends back about 195 bits per second. That's slower than your internet connection, right? Well, now let's get back to the topic at hand. The reason why Voyager 1 is special is because it was the first spacecraft to leave our solar system and enter interstellar space. We know that sounds impressive, but technically speaking, it's not really that far. Voyager 1 crossed the Heliopause in August of 2012 and entered the interstellar medium. What's the big deal, you might ask? Well, the Heliopause marks the boundary of the heliosphere, a bubble-like region of space that's created by the solar wind and protects our solar system from the interstellar medium. Crossing this boundary is like stepping into a whole new world. Suddenly, the spacecraft is bombarded by a completely different environment. It's as if Voyager 1 left our neighborhood and entered a completely uncharted territory. And that's exactly what happened. Scientists were able to use the data from Voyager 1 to study the interstellar medium and learn about the conditions beyond our solar system. But what does the interstellar medium even mean? Well, it's basically the stuff between stars. It's mostly made up of hydrogen and helium gas, but also contains dust and cosmic rays. This medium is constantly flowing and moving, creating a dynamic and ever-changing environment. The speed of the interstellar medium can vary depending on its location in the galaxy. On average, it moves at about 12 kilometers per second or 26,000 miles per hour. That's fast. This means that even though Voyager 1 is no longer in our solar system, it's still technically a part of our galactic home. It's just cruising through the vast expanse between stars, taking in the sights and sounds of the cosmos. Voyager 1 has been traveling for over 48 years, which is a really long time, especially considering the distances involved. You might think that with all that time, it must have covered an incredible distance, right? Well, yes and no. As of February 2023, Voyager 1 is approximately 166 astronomical units from Earth. 1 astronomical unit, or AU, is the average distance between the Earth and the Sun, which is about 150 million kilometers, or 94 million miles. So Voyager 1 is roughly 24 billion kilometers away from us. But here's where it gets interesting. Voyager 1 is not the farthest human-made object from Earth. That title belongs to its twin sister ship, Voyager 2, which is currently located about 18 billion kilometers away. That's 10 billion miles. So even though Voyager 1 is farther away than Pluto, which is our solar system's 9th planet, it's still not the most distant piece of space junk we've sent into space. Think about that for a second. We've managed to send a spacecraft farther than any other object in our solar system, including planets and moons. How does that make you feel? In a way, it's a testament to human ingenuity and determination. It shows that we're capable of some truly special things when we set our minds to it. Now, you might be thinking, well, what's the big deal about Voyager 2 being farther away? After all, it's only a couple of billion kilometers ahead of its twin. Well, it's not just about the distance. It's also about the journey. Voyager 2's trajectory took it farther away from our solar system than Voyager 1. This means that it encountered the heliopause, the edge of the protective bubble created by the sun's magnetic field, earlier than Voyager 1. In fact, Voyager 2 crossed the heliopause in November 2018, more than 6 years before its twin. This makes Voyager 2 the first spacecraft to enter interstellar space, at least officially. Now, you might be wondering why there's such a big gap between the two spacecraft. And the answer is simple: trajectory. When Voyager 2 was launched in 1979, its path took it farther out into space than Voyager 1. This meant that it would encounter the heliopause sooner. In addition, Voyager 2's trajectory took it into a slightly different region of space, which is why it's no longer visible from Earth. It's also worth noting that Voyager 2's instruments detected a sudden increase in magnetic field strength as it crossed the heliopause, which indicated that it had entered a new medium, confirming its arrival in interstellar space. This was further confirmed by the detection of cosmic rays, high-energy particles that are found throughout the galaxy. The sudden increase in cosmic rays indicated that Voyager 2 had left the protective sphere of the solar wind and entered an area where these particles are more abundant. It's amazing to think about, isn't it? 2 spacecraft launched just a few years apart, traveling together for decades, and then suddenly one of them takes a different path and ends up somewhere completely different. But that's the thing about space exploration. It's unpredictable and full of surprises. As Carl Sagan once said, "We are a way of the universe understanding itself." And that's never been more apparent than with the Voyager missions. These spacecraft have given us an incredible amount of knowledge about the universe and our place in it. And they continue to do so to this day. As long as they continue to send back data, scientists will be able to use it to learn more about the universe. Who knows what they might discover next? But one thing is for sure. The Voyager missions have already taught us so much, and we are just getting started. Now let's go back to the original question. Even after traveling for nearly 50 years, Voyager 1 is still nowhere near the distance light travels in a single day. That's because Voyager 1 is only going about 13.5 kilometers per second or 30,000 miles per hour. Meanwhile, light travels at an astonishing 299,792 kilometers per second, or 670 million miles per hour. That means that in one day, light travels 7.5 trillion kilometers, which is about 4.7 trillion miles. To put that into perspective, if Voyager 1 were to travel at the speed of light, it would cover the entire distance between the Earth and the Sun in just over 5 seconds. But unfortunately, it's not going nearly that fast. At its current speed, it would take Voyager 1 over 67,000 years to travel the distance light covers in a single day. And that's just for one day. If we multiply that number by the number of days in a year, we get about 24.5 billion kilometers, or 15.2 billion miles. That's how far Voyager 1 would travel in 1 year, assuming it continues to move at its current speed. But don't worry. We're not going to do the math for the entire solar system. Just imagine the number of years it would take Voyager 1 to reach Alpha Centauri, the nearest star system to our own. So there you have it. The Voyager 1 has come a long way since its launch in 1977. It's given us an incredible amount of knowledge about the universe and our place in it, and it continues to do so to this day. Despite its age, it's still functioning and sending back data to help scientists learn more about the cosmos. If you love space exploration and want to learn more about our universe, be sure to subscribe for more updates. We cover everything from the latest news and discoveries to the biggest mysteries and most mind-blowing facts. Thanks for watching.